Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Screen Facts with Jason Davis. We appreciate you checking out the podcast. Every Wednesday we discuss a movie. We talk about some fun trivia facts about the film during the conversation. You can join the conversation by liking us on Facebook, facebook.com/screenfacts. Post your comments or questions there. You can also tweet me at Jason Davis Voice. You can also email us, screenfacts@yahoo.com. There's a couple of different ways to listen to the podcast. Go to jasondavisvoice.com/podcast for all the details. And by the way, that's a way that you can get all the past episodes that you may or may not have missed. Joining me on the podcast this week is my lovely and talented and exceptional wife, Sue.
Wow, thanks, honey.
We are on the precipice of the presidential election.
I know. Will we survive?
That remains to be seen, but we're going to keep podcasting in the meantime.
That's right.
And I thought for this week, we would talk about a movie that's based around the White House.
Yeah.
And the movie that we chose is from May 7th, 1993, the original release date. Directed by Ivan Reitman. Dave. Great movie. Fun movie.
Yep.
Dave stars Kevin Kline, Sigourney Weaver, Frank Langella, who's great as a bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Charles Grodin, Ving Rhames, and Ben Kingsley.
Yep.
And then there's a couple of other people that if you watch the movie, you'll be like, oh, I remember her, I remember him, and so on. But we'll probably talk about that as we get into the podcast. So written by Gary Ross, who was actually nominated for an Oscar for this script. Ross, by the way, also wrote the screenplays for Seabiscuit and Pleasantville, and co-wrote the screenplays for the movie Big and The Hunger Games.
That's right. You know, he was kind of born into the business of screenwriting. His father was a blacklisted screenwriter.
No kidding.
By the name of Arthur Ross.
Huh.
He wrote Creature from the Black Lagoon and The Great Race.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, huh?
I had no idea.
Yeah. Gary Ross actually dabbled in some acting before he decided to focus on a career behind the camera. And if you notice the second policeman in the scene where they get pulled over, that's Gary Ross.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has a little cameo, too. Pretty cool. The movie and Kevin Kline's performance, by the way, were nominated for Golden Globes. And Charles Grodin actually won an American Comedy Award.
He's just so dry and understated.
That's
and
his
just,
MO, though.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, he's always been really good at that dry, kind of sarcastic sort of stuff. He was great in Midnight Run with Robert De Niro playing a similar character like that. He's always fun, Charles Grodin. There's actually 3 Oscar winners in the cast: Kevin Kline, Ben Kingsley, and Oliver Stone, who has a cameo. And 5 Oscar nominees: Sigourney Weaver, Frank Langella, Jason Reitman, who has a small role as the vice president's son, Laura Linney, and writer Gary Ross, as you mentioned, plays the police officer.
That's right.
Plus, Bonnie Hunt plays the White House tour guide. We're walking, we're walking.
And we're stopping.
She was nominated for a couple of Golden Globes in her career. So this cast has quite the pedigree.
They absolutely do.
So the movie grossed $62.3 million. Box office be damned. It's a fun movie and it's a great movie.
It sure is.
And it's another one of those movies that you watch with the president where you go, why isn't our president that cool?
Of course. Well, which president are you speaking of, though?
Well, that's just it. It's funny because Kevin Kline plays a couple of roles in this movie.
Ivan Reitman had said that he felt that Kevin Kline plays 3 roles. Dave, he plays Bill Mitchell.
Right.
And then he plays Dave playing Bill Mitchell.
Right. Which is pretty, it's pretty amazing that he wasn't nominated for some awards for this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, because he's really, Kevin Kline, you can't talk enough about how great of an actor he is. He's really
phenomenal.
talented.
I mean, Juilliard trained and, you know, Shakespeare and all that good stuff.
Yep. When he's playing Bill Mitchell, the actual president, he's a dick.
Yeah.
There's no other way to say it. He's a dick.
Yeah.
As Dave Kovic, he's great.
Yeah, he's
just
your all-around nice guy.
Yeah.
Everyone works on Monday. It's
Yeah.
Wednesday, and everyone works on Wednesday.
Yeah, he runs a temp agency. He finds jobs for
Yeah.
people. So he's doing something with his life,
Yeah,
right?
he rides a bike because it's better for the environment.
Right.
What does he sing when he's on the bike? Show tunes. I mean, come on, this is a great guy.
Yeah, and then when he's brought in to become the president, he doesn't take on Bill Mitchell's personality, obviously.
Right, he's focusing on just learning his mannerisms in
Right.
the beginning. You know,
Yeah, they
which
want
way
him-
He points his hands, and does he hold the podium or not?
Yeah, they want him to be convincing as the president.
Yeah.
But then he starts doing things that actually help people, which was very unlike what the president would do.
Right.
That doesn't sit well with Frank Langella as the chief of staff,
That's right.
who's got a whole plan that he's concocted that he's going to end up being president.
Right.
Power hungry jerk.
Poor Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they pinned the whole scandal thing on him.
Right.
And, Oh, just make him look terrible.
Yeah, it's really great how everything plays out in the movie. We talk about how presidents in the movies are usually people that we'd like to be leading our country more than the actual leaders.
Exactly.
As it turns out, when this film came out, at the time, Bill Clinton was president.
Oh,
He actually
right.
was a big fan of the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Bill Mitchell himself is just a really rotten guy.
Yeah.
We only see him in action in one scene, really, and that's when he's sitting with the cabinet
Right.
and he's telling them to, shoot down this bill. He said, I'm not going to do it because it would make me look like a prick. I want you to look like pricks.
Right.
And you go, oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And he's a womanizer.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the big plot points in the movie that Sigourney Weaver, who plays the first lady,
Yep.
hates him.
Yeah.
They never see each other. They don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
So and in the beginning, it's not really hard for them to pass Dave off as him.
Yeah, yeah, because they really just pass each other in the hall and that's about it.
Yeah. But then it's funny how that all kind of comes undone.
Yeah, yeah. I like when the first thing she says to him once he's back at work after he had the stroke, she just walks in and says, why couldn't you die from the stroke like other people do? Something like that. And you're like, oh, good day to you too.
And then I love after that whole exchange, thank you for doing this, Ellen, and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. And then she leaves. And he's like, she hates me. And then the two guys that brought him in are like, yes.
Yes, it's so true.
Yeah, because he was convincing enough.
Yeah.
So as great as Kevin Kline is in this movie, he actually wasn't the first choice to play Dave, which I was surprised to
Yeah.
read. He got the part after Warren Beatty and Kevin Costner both turned it down.
Huh.
I can't see either of those guys.
Yeah,
Kevin
no.
Costner, maybe?
I
Maybe-
couldn't see him doing it. I
Well,
don't
Kevin
think he's
Costner-
got that versatility.
Kevin Costner can play a likable guy.
Yeah.
Warren Beatty, I couldn't see at
Yeah, I
all.
can't-
At all.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against Warren Beatty. I just, not in this role. He's just, I don't see that at all.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Kevin Costner, he's played roles where he's been that sort of aw shucks kind of guy. Like Field of Dreams, I think, was sort
Yeah.
of like that. So I don't know.
I'm glad that they turned it down.
Oh, yeah, me too. Kevin Kline was fantastic.
I think he was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and also Anna Devere Smith
Mm-hmm.
has a small role in this movie. She plays the woman at the homeless shelter where all the kids are.
Yeah.
This is actually one of a few things that she has been involved with that have to do with the president.
Mm-hmm.
This, The American President, which we will be doing a podcast for coming very soon, and also the television series The West Wing.
Aha.
So that's for you, Blazer. We know that you're a big Sorkin guy. So,
Yeah.
and she was also fantastic on Nurse Jackie.
Oh, I loved her, Nurse
as,
Jackie.
Yeah, as Acolytus. And by the way, this was also not the only time that Kevin Kline plays both the president and the guy impersonating the president. He did it again, co-starring with Will Smith in 1999's Wild Wild West. So one of the things I really enjoy about this movie is all of the great cameos by real life people,
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
it's reporters or political figures or whatever.
Yeah.
It's done so well, and it's very convincing.
Yeah.
Ivan Reitman offered Howard Stern a cameo in the
Okay.
movie
Mm-hmm.
as himself,
Okay.
but he turned it down. As it turns out, though, Ivan Reitman ended up producing Howard Stern's film debut, Private Parts, in 1997.
I liked seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger in there.
Yeah,
And then when they do, the funny little bit for the kids and,
Yeah,
and
with
Kevin
the
Kline
donut.
falls down and
Yeah.
the kids are all giggling and
Yeah.
stuff. It's so cute.
and when he spits out the donut.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't eat these sweet things. Yeah.
I was going to say another guy that was supposed to have a cameo as himself was U.S. Senator Alphonse D'Amato, but he ended up bailing because there were some issues between the Senate and Warner Brothers over the content of Ice-T's album Cop Killer.
Oh.
That was a very controversial thing at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So Ice-T ends up leaving Warner Brothers, and then D'Amato goes, oh, well, I can come back to the film now then. And Ivan Reitman said, no thanks.
Yeah.
We're good.
How about not? I like when they put actual reporters and TV shows and stuff like that in because it kind of puts a little reality check in and a little timestamp on it too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. All of the news, Kathleen Sullivan from the
Right,
news,
right.
Sander Van Oker. Yeah, there was a bunch of cameos of those type of people.
Yeah.
And like you said, it really makes it feel legitimate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the White House itself, the whole set seemed legitimate,
Mm-hmm.
but we found out it wasn't the actual, well, obviously, Oval Office was busy at the time.
They're not allowed to shoot inside the White House
Right.
for these movies.
Yeah.
There's just no way to do that.
Yeah.
So they build sets, and they actually ended up building the White House exteriors too. They do authentic recreations of the portraits and things like that, and the drapes and all that. It's pretty amazing
Yeah.
how they're able to do that.
Yeah, well, they went to the White House and asked for permission to take photographs and measurements and really be accurate, but the White House said no. So Ivan Reitman told his production designer to just go on a tour. So he went in and just took a tour, but he had his camera with him. And so he took pictures because when you're a tourist, you can take pictures.
Yeah, but the tour obviously doesn't go in the Oval Office and stuff.
Right. Well, then what they did was they went to the Ronald Reagan Library, which has a reproduction of the Oval Office there.
Oh, wow.
So they were able to measure there and take more pictures there and then go from there. But I thought that was hysterical.
That's great. Hey, listen, necessity is the mother of invention, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and the film's Oval Office set was reused more than 25 times. And I think we've talked about this when we talked about, I think, Independence Day way back when. We talked about how they always recycle sets. Television shows and movies, including The Pelican Brief, Hot Shots Part 2, Clear and Present Danger, and Absolute Power were some of the movies that were mentioned that used the same Oval Office set. I think Washington, D.C. in general doesn't really want film crews using their stuff.
Okay.
Obviously, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and plus it's probably a security risk and everything else. Yeah. The House of Delegates chamber in the state Capitol building in Richmond, Virginia, doubled for the House chamber of the U.S. Capitol in D.C.
Okay.
A lot of members of the Virginia House of Delegates and visitors to the Capitol that day ended up being extras in the movie.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah. So that's probably kind of cool if you just happen to be there and
taking a tour or, on a field trip or something.
Yeah, why not?
A movie.
Yeah, so Jason Reitman, Ivan Reitman's son, was Vice President Nance's son, and the only time you see him is when Nance is being sworn in on the steps of the building.
Yes.
And of course, Jason Reitman has gone on to be a pretty successful director in his own right, Juno and some other things.
Oh, I'm putting it all together now.
There you go.
Hey. Look at that.
There was another cool movie crossover that I might as well mention. In one of the press conferences that Dave, as the president, holds, there's a news camera with a logo that may or may not look familiar to you, depending on how much of a movie fan you are.
Yeah.
Clamp Cable Network.
CCN.
CCN. That's the name of the cable network from the movie Gremlins 2, The New Batch. That Daniel Clamp, I think, is the character's name. And he's supposed to be very loosely based on Donald Trump. The big real estate guy, his name on everything, blah, blah, blah. But Gremlins 2, along with the original Gremlins, starred Kevin Kline's wife, Phoebe Cates.
Oh, that's right.
And then they're both Warner Brothers movies, too. So that's how that ends up in this movie.
Yeah, they can do that easier that way.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's one of those things that's easy to miss.
Just go in the prop room and grab something.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, going back to Gary Ross.
Okay.
I did want to mention more about him. He actually was a speechwriter.
Oh, okay.
So he was very plugged into the whole political scene. That brings more of the authenticity to it. Besides having real people and very realistic settings, you have someone on the inside who's actually writing the dialogue and everything. I just thought that was really cool. Part of the reason they were able to get a lot of the cameos of the real DC people was because of Ross's connections to them.
Because he had relationships with them. Okay.
Yeah, like Tip O'Neill and some of the senators and stuff like that. So
okay.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Very cool.
You know me, I always like to talk about baseball.
You do?
Not. It took me a minute when we were watching him throw out the first pitch to remember again that it's Dave being Bill Mitchell throwing out the pitch.
Right.
Because Dave plays ball, doesn't he? Because doesn't he ask Charles Grodin to go to the park and toss the ball around or something?
There's two things in the movie that indicate that he's a big baseball fan. First of all, he has the baseball glove in his desk drawer.
Yes.
And then, when he goes to Murray's office, Charles Grodin's office, he says, hey, you want to go play some ball? He's like, it's the middle of the day. I'm working.
Yeah.
So he definitely has a love of the game.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't put it all together until last night when we were watching it.
Oh, really?
When he throws out the first pitch and really put some pop on it. And the catcher's like, whoa.
Yeah, because the catcher, it's funny because the catcher.
The president to throw it out.
Right, the catcher is standing up and Dave, as President Mitchell, tells him to kneel down squat down like a catcher would.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And he gets that and he throws a perfect strike.
Yeah. So it turns out they only had a few minutes to get that scene done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they went over to Camden Yards and right before an Orioles-Tigers game on August 3rd of 92.
Okay.
The baseball management was like, oh, just do it. Just get in, get out,
It's cool that they let them do that before the game.
Yeah. So it turns out the Orioles actually won that game 6-3. The pitcher for Orioles that day, Storm Davis, no relation.
Wow, okay, I don't even remember that guy.
And their first baseman, Glenn Davis, no relation.
Wow.
Just had to do that.
I think that might have been the first year when they first opened Camden Yards. If it wasn't the first year, it was definitely early on, because Camden Yards was a new ballpark back then.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So August 3rd, 1992, a very important day in history.
I've heard.
My favorite twins, Sarah and Rebecca Gaunt, were born on that day.
Ah, I've heard of them.
Yes, you have. Okay, when I was first starting out in Charlottesville at the radio station when I worked down there, they came to see me with their mom at an event that I was doing. And they came up to me, and they were, I think, maybe 6 or 7 at the time. And I said, "Oh, I bet you guys want a balloon," or something like that. "No, we came to see you." And I was like blown away by that.
Aw.
And I said hi to them on the radio the next day. Their mom made it a point to like call me at the station and say, "Oh, you know, it made their whole year," and everything else. And we just became really friendly. They were like a second family to me when I lived down there. Mm-hmm. I can't say enough how much these two girls mean to me. Girls, they're young women now, which just blows my mind. And I kind of feel a little sad that I haven't really kept up with them as much as I should over the years. But I hope they know that I love them and I always think about them. Sarah and Rebecca, thank you for being a part of my life. So the president's and vice president's names are tributes to real political figures.
Yes, they are.
The president's full name in the movie is William Harrison Mitchell. Mm-hmm. William Henry Harrison was elected in 1840 and the first president to die in office. The vice president, played by Ben Kingsley, we mentioned, is Vice President Nance. John Nance Garner was Franklin Roosevelt's vice president for 2 terms.
Mm-hmm. Super cool. John Nance Garner actually once said his job was not being worth a pitcher of warm piss. Oh, vice president jokes. Always good in November, right?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Sorry. Anyway, I would like to talk about the fact that, yes, we're talking about a comedy, and yes, it's an old-time, movie from early 90s and stuff. Mm-hmm. But typically the things I come in and talk about with you comedy-wise are things that are a little more broad comedy, like more physical comedy, more slapstick, more in-your-face funny. Mm-hmm. It was interesting. I was reading a bunch of interviews with Kevin Kline. He was saying that the movie he had done right before this was Fish Called Wanda.
He won the Oscar for that.
Yeah. And I forget what his character's name is.
Otto.
It was Otto.
Yeah.
He was really...
Don't call me stupid.
He was really concerned that he was going to come in and do Dave, and everyone was just going to call it Otto Goes to Washington. So he really toned it down for this. It's a very subtle comedy.
Yeah.
It's very subtle. And for me to be loving this movie as much as I do, it's a little different from what I normally like, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, you are not one to go for romantic comedies very often.
Right.
And this is definitely a romantic comedy. Yeah, I'm more the chick flick person in our relationship. Go figure.
I know. But this isn't just a romantic comedy, though.
No, it's definitely a lot more than that.
You see both of those characters evolving. You see him coming in, from the goofy guy who rides a pig into, the car place to going in. And he's like such a tourist. And he throws out a couple things like, when they tell him to call work and say you won't be, and he picks up the phone. He's like, "Do I have to dial 9?"
Yeah.
And then when he's standing at the podium and he has the White House pen, he's like, "Can I keep this?"
Yeah. And then even after he's kind of become the president.
Yeah.
And then he decides that he's going to leave.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't feel like he belongs there anymore. He packs up a presidential duffel bag with
souvenirs.
Towels. Yeah, souvenirs.
But he embraces it more and more. And you see him really becoming comfortable in the role of president, especially as he's, rolling around with the dogs and working with the kids and, stuff like that. And Sigourney Weaver comes in with her, "Why can't you die from a stroke like everybody else?" And then she doesn't leave like she's going to, and she comes back and they decide to work together and do some good while they can. Mm-hmm. She's been in a bad relationship for all those years, so she's like mean and hateful.
I think that's the great thing about the two characters. They bring out the best in each other.
Yeah.
They kind of discover something that's been missing from each of their own personalities together.
Yeah. I mean, she said, she got into it because she believed she could do good. And then when she says to him, "Well, what would you do if you could, while you still can?" And that's what
comes
makes
up with the
them,
jobs plan.
That's what makes them go back instead of just saying, oh, we're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah. It's very well written.
Yeah.
The characters are great. They're not one-dimensional or anything like that. And it's a sweet story. It's impossible to not root for him.
Yeah. It's an everyman kind of guy. A lot of people say it's very Capra-esque. One of the few bad reviews, or not as great reviews at the time, actually called it Capricorn.
Like corny Capra.
Yeah.
Funny.
But they said, you're in the most cynical place in the world, DC. You have the, oh, shucks, I want to help the world guy. And, how's he going to get in there and affect some change? And you can't help but enjoy it.
I think there's sort of transformations from a lot of the characters.
Yeah.
I mean, even Ving Rhames' character.
Yes.
He's
so stoic.
Just hard as nails, Secret Service guy in the beginning. At one point in the movie, Dave's making a sandwich in the White House kitchen, and he gives half to him.
The sandwiches in this movie, my gosh, they look so good.
He gives Ving Rhames half the sandwich, and he's talking to him. He's like, so we're always worried about you guys. So you would take a bullet for the president? He says, certainly. And then he goes, well, I guess that means you would take a bullet for me now. And he doesn't really answer.
Yeah.
He kind of thinks about it, though. You see him thinking about it, going, yeah, I guess I have to.
Yeah.
Because, for everybody watching, you're the president.
Yeah.
Later on in the movie, Ving Rhames says to Dave, I would have taken a bullet for you.
Yeah.
And it's such a great moment.
Yeah. Well, they also have that nice sweater moment, too.
Yes.
When Dave is looking in the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a picture of you. Well, there's a picture of you. Oh, you're so imposing. Have you ever thought of just wearing a sweater? And Ving Rhames goes, yeah, but they make me look big.
They make my neck look too thick or something like that.
Yeah. How about a sweater vest with a tie?
Yeah.
Probably no one's ever talked to him on the job like this before, ever.
Well, of course not, because he's a Secret Service guy. I mean, they got ice in their veins, right?
Yeah.
Ice water in their veins.
But it's nice to see the bonding.
Yeah, there's a lot of great moments like that. And even the guy that works with Frank Langella, the guy Alan is the character's name. I forget the actor's name, but great character actor. Kevin Dunn. Even he doesn't feel comfortable with all this stuff.
Yeah.
He really doesn't want to do things that are illegal. He's very not good with it. I think even he's kind of rooting for Dave to do good things.
Yeah, you can tell that Dave's winning him over too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just a really great movie. Again, it's a sweet love story. It's a funny movie. It's one of the few times you watch somebody in Washington, D.C. and you go, yeah, you root for them.
Yeah, it's a feel-good movie.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of fun.
And the music. Oh, I love the music. I love, movies that are scored like that. Just gorgeous.
Yeah, and even the scenery, the way it's shot, like in the beginning. What did I say? I said, they're showing like the guys rowing on the river, and they're showing all the like Washington Monument and the Jefferson Memorial and all that.
Yeah.
And you go, man, they really make DC look so awesome in movies.
Yeah.
But when you go there and you walk around there or you drive through there, it doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
And of course, all the stuff that's going on there that's questionable, to say the least. So anything else?
Yeah, it turns out not just Bill Clinton is a president who's a fan of the movie. Obama is also a fan. Obama even told Kevin Kline, I guess they had met at some point, and he said, oh, I saw Dave and I liked it. Kevin Kline said that Obama said, you make it look very easy being president. And Kevin Kline was like, yeah, I know it's not. I know it's not.
I got to say, all kidding aside, we're talking about how presidents in the movie always seem better and everything else. That's got to be one of the most thankless jobs in the world.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
Yep.
Because no matter what you do, there's going to be a majority of people who think you're doing it wrong and they're going to hate you. It's a tough gig.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in charge of a lot.
Yeah. And 24/7.
Yeah.
Right outside the doors to your bedroom, there's the world right there.
Yeah. I mean, this movie obviously is very lighthearted. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
Blazer and I are going to do a podcast for The American President because he's a big Sorkin guy. And that movie is also a romantic comedy, but there's obviously a lot more quote unquote presidential stuff in that movie.
Well, yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting to talk about that one too. I think people who criticize the job the president does, try walking a mile in their shoes. That's all I'm going to say.
I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Although I would be tempted to take a pad of paper and the pencil and go through the budget and find that $650 million.
That's such a great scene.
That was so cool.
But the funny thing is, you probably could do that
and
come up with part of a solution at least, because the government wastes a lot of money. There's no question about that. So,
you know, and when he says to the one guy, well, I don't want to tell an 8-year-old he's got nowhere to live because I want to let people feel better about the cars they're driving. Do you? And the guy's like, no, I sure don't.
No, I sure don't, Mr. President.
So great. And you're just like, everyone's rallying behind him by the end of it.
It's fantastic.
And it really makes you think like, and Charles Grodin even says, you know, if I ran my business the way they were running this.
Who does these books? If I ran my business like this, I'd be out of business.
Out of business, exactly.
It's great. Anything else, or I don't have anything else. So.
No. I just really enjoyed watching it again.
Me too. It's always fun.
It really stands the test of time too. I think.
Yeah, it's really good.
Even though it came out, a few years ago.
Yeah, but you know what? Ivan Reitman. I can't think of too many movies that Ivan Reitman's had his name on one way or another, whether it's director, producer, or whatever, that aren't good. He's just a really talented guy, and he always is associated with good stuff.
That's true.
And sometimes he does a movie that surprises you. He directed Draft Day with Kevin Costner, which we were surprised. Wow, it's like totally unlike anything he's ever done.
Because I love football movies.
Yeah.
Not.
But you enjoyed that.
I love that
There
movie.
you go.
Exactly.
And that's credit to Ivan Reitman.
Yep.
Well, that's it for Dave. Honey, thanks for doing another episode with me as always.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And thanks to you for listening. We do appreciate it. Remember, please like us on Facebook, facebook.com/ScreenFacts. And if you have a favorite scene from this movie or any comments about it, you can post them there. You can also tweet me at Jason Davis Voice. You can email screenfacts@yahoo.com. Please help others find the show by rating, commenting, subscribing on iTunes. You can also show your support for the show by ordering ScreenFacts merchandise. You can do that at the podcast page of jasondavisvoice.com. And remember, you can also find out about all the ways you can listen to the podcast, including past episodes that you may have missed. Show theme music by audionautics.com. And a special thanks to our announcer, Kim McKay from kimsvoice.com.
ScreenFacts with Jason Davis is a production of Jason Davis VoiceOver. Visit jasondavisvoice.com if you need a voice for a commercial, narration, promo, internet video, e-learning or training program, and more. Click on the podcast page to get information about where you can download and listen to past episodes. Listen again next Wednesday for a new episode of ScreenFacts with Jason Davis.